Gaelic Games Championship is everything. You've no 20 league game to find form. You got to get out of your group or you're in a relegation fight. Get it right, and you're chasing silverware. 6 weeks out now, you have holidays, exams, leaving cert has all made it very hard. You need to train hard, you need to train smart, and you got to stop flogging your sprinters and your aerobic animals through the same generic sessions. I've built a 6 week run in that fixes that. One for football, one for hurling, and one for the dual club. Here's what one of these does. It takes two test scores off each player, sorts out your whole panel into speed, hybrid, or aerobic profiles, and then runs them through the same 6 week blocks. We reintegrate, we build, develop, unload, and we peak for championship. So everyone arrives sharp for the games that count and not cooked from a hot generic schedule. It's the same system that county and professional setups pay for or employ
So,
as the
what
C
outcomes are we
coaches
looking
to
for? For
built
the
off the
players, they
research
have
laid out so
weapons
that you can run it
and
on a Tuesday
limiters.
night.
And that's the way we can look at it and how we can divide up our training using the anaerobic speed reserve. So, their weapons is their strength, which we've figured out from the testing. Okay. So, how do we do the testing? And that's the first thing that needs to be looked at when you're doing this. And you've plenty of time. It'll take, you can do it in one night in 20 minutes or so. Test one should be the maximum sprinting flying test, right? Do that fresh. The other test is the maximum aerobic speed 6 minute run. The details are there on the testing page. Okay, you've the cover page here, which gives an overview, how to use it, and testing. Then we go to squad profiling, and this is literally where you put in the numbers. Example, and these are actual players here. Then below that I've put in for examples without their names. 15.6 kilometers per hour was the score. That's 360 seconds. Sorry, that's the distance they got. Maybe it was 1350 or something like that meters they reached in the 6 minutes. So that's divided by 360 or 100 to get 15.6 kilometers. And then you can divide it by 3.6 to get meters per second. Regardless, what it gives us, and this is, you don't have to do all this, you just have to put in those two numbers and all these numbers come up. What also happens is it tells you how many of each profile you have. It can be very helpful when you're starting out with a new team. And then it can give you the actual groups. So you have a fair idea who's in which group, and they can move. This then is a good way of looking at the actual week. So we have warm ups, just so you know, right, for power and speed and power day, for the conditioning day, and for strength and power days, right, in the gym. So week one, right, day one is going to be using the weapon. Day two is we're going to try and develop the limiter a bit. So we're in the run into championship. We're not going to do huge volume of anything. If it was off season, you might do a lot of the limiter. Pre-season, you start tipping away back into your strengths a little, but might keep developing the limitations you have. And then as you get closer, you need to double down with strengths. Okay, so what we're here is balancing that. Day three is a generic speed endurance for everyone, right? So we're doing sprinting accelerations and some sprint intervals. That's for the whole group. That gets replaced by a game. So we respect the games in a week. If there is no game in the week, you do a third training session like this. And just so you know, the main football or hurling, football in this case, looking at this, um, you can put in and follow here as well your theme of the training session, whatever skills, games you might, practices you might use, small set of games or waves, conditioning games, or a tactical game, which could be the full game, or the conditioning game could be the full game, right? Whatever you want to do. It won't work exactly like that for you, but it just gives you a chance to put in little notes to build your and have one place to look at your training session. Then we go to we stay at week one here. This is the aerobic in blue, hybrid in orange, sprint profile in red, and they're doing what they're strong at. Okay, so this is 3 by 30 meters max sprint, right, with a full recovery, two sets of it, 3 minutes between sets for the sprints. Aerobic guys, fairly easy running in this case, but it's 15-15s at 100% mass. That's relatively slow, but it'll just start getting them ticking through into that aerobic system in the first week and first session. And that's the way it works then with the limiters as well, which are a bit more specific then. We're going after specific repeat sprints, exposure, maintenance for the hybrid, engine top ups for the sprint profiles. Okay. Remember, your profiles come from here. So if this training session asks for 5 by so they're sprints, so we don't have to worry about too much about that. But this would be a good example. Engine top up for the sprint profilers. They don't have great engines, so we're going to develop in short intervals their capacity to run, right? So 100% mass, 15 seconds is the time. Okay, we need to find the distance. So here we go. So we'll make that slightly bigger. We're working off 15 seconds. You can change this. It's the only number you have to put in on this page. And that gives you a load of speeds, which are already in there for the players. And we're interested in 100% mass for the sprint group. Okay, so that's the aerobic group at the top. Sprint group are down here. The 100% mass, 54 meters. Okay, not very long for 15 seconds. But these guys are just building it up. So sprint, or they'll run 15 seconds to 54, wait 15 at that, run back, and they're doing 15, 15 on, 15 off. They're doing 6 of them. One set. Fairly, very, very low level. Okay. Then we go to week 2. The weapons, things will start changing. They'll do more volume. Week 3, we might be changing the intensity and so on and so forth. Right up to tapering on week 6, 5 and 6, okay, and real drop into championship then on week 6. So if you don't have a week, if you've 5 weeks or you've 7 weeks, you could double up week 1, double 2, or you could take out possibly week 1 and go straight into week 2. Okay, that would be a good way of doing that. So that's the structure. It respects the games you'll play. It's 3 training sessions and a gym session, or it's 2 training sessions, a gym session, and a match. And that's the way you're going to look at it. So that. So which one is for you? Football panel, hurling, same system. Tune in for the demands of the game. And if you're running a dual club, both a championship at once, this is the one I'm most proud of. That's taking the most work. It manages to load across 2 groups, and so the players don't fall apart early. Right? We've all the biases and the profiles built in, so they can play week to week. That's the whole job. Profile your squad, run the block, peak for the games that matter. Football, hurling, or both. This is a proven system, and it's built for your code. All 3 programs are in the Profile Performance shop. The link is below or in the bio. Football and hurling are €35. The dual code program is 49. Grab the one that suits you.